Aeon, Bacon, Watto and welcome, but Shaunrus, the first is yours. And let me update the boards. How y'all doing? So Alnus is still in the lead with 2, and everybody else has 1. Okay. Oh. Good to hear, good to hear. Come on in, friends, come on in. We got strong coffees, big books. Ah yes, I see the cult of Clock Tower is proving to be tricky, to say the least.
Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal.
Important 83 facts: CDs were introduced to the American market.
Okay.
First mobile phone commercially available. Mario Brothers was released as an arcade game. Cabbage Patch Kids craze. Beginning of the internet. Reading Rainbow Debuts on PBS.
Sorry, Nova. Thank you. Not just for helping keep our little corner of the internet together, but, 83 months and everything else. Like, seriously, thank you. And Wolfcrad, it super is coffee time. I know it's like 2 in the afternoon here, but hey, I did not crash out. I got real close. The regular normal coffee was just not hitting, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna rinse the coffee machine, get the good strong coffee.
More like CDs are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
C222, thank you. Oh, come on in, friends, come on in. I had the strangest thought last night that, for those of you that have seen it, or maybe not, the Animatrix, 2 very different shows, puts forward this idea that the Matrix, that there were multiple iterations of it before they settled on like the 90s sphere that we got, right? And I'm sure we've all seen the memes going around that it was really funny that the 90s were considered like the peak of human achievement, and then, oh, right. Anyway, it struck me that they must have tried multiple time zones, multiple historical settings and things for the Matrix. There is a non-zero chance that there's a Dickensian doobie-doo apples and pears version of the Matrix, which absolutely fucking didn't work. Then leading to a, God blimey, Morpheus, you gonna teach me how to punch a bloke good like? I'll learn the Queensberry rules, but you said I could use me feet? Oh, I don't know about that kung fu you keep saying, alright, Morpheus. I don't know why that's been making me laugh all morning. It hasn't been making me laugh all morning, but it's been a funny thought that has been in my head. It took a lot of coffee to get the chortle going. How are you all doing? Today we banter. Today we crack further into Tunic. When last we left our hero, I think we were starting to crack that one little message from the devs. Oh yeah, but Bacon Smith puts forward the idea that humans reject being happy as a concept. He puts forward the idea that there were matrices, where people were just in this magical, happy fun land, where everything is good and nothing is bad. And that was one that they rejected. In the Animatrix, they put forward the different iterations of it that were experimented on. And because we know that the timeline, with the way that the timeline worked, we know that human civilization didn't fall over during the 1990s in that timeline, right? So again, not only must they have experimented with different variations of, human agency in that space and happiness and things like that, they must have also experimented with time periods. I do like the idea as well that all of the product placement that we see in the Matrix is because the machine studied human media and assumed that product placement would be in a day-to-day lives for how it was represented in media. I think about that a lot. Sorry, I forgot to grab my Tunic homework. God, I'm gonna be able to speak fucking... I'm gonna have to read Runic by the fucking end of this. And I know nobody else calls it Runic, but I'm gonna keep doing that because I'm allowed. Got that kind of Truman Show vibe, you know? Today's episode of Existing, sponsored by Tunic. For when you want a Zelda game that will absolutely fuck your brain up. Sorry, and Hawks, welcome. Glad to hear Silk Song is still grabbing you. Rationing it is very difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really been able to play on anything that isn't Steam Deckable, and it's there looking at me like, hey golly. Sure. But I resist. For all of your lovely selves, I resist. Well, so Nova, going back to Matrix chat. So far as I understood it, right, that the humans inside the Matrix have to accept it to a degree because it's not real, but they have to accept it as a reality. Meaning that if there is anything that is too surreal, they kind of mentally reject it, i.e., kind of like rejecting a limb or something like that. So there has to be a level of grounded. And so they couldn't put them into, like, I don't know, a virtual server where you can all fly around and be happy and wonderful. I know. I did finish watching, I believe it's called Pantheon on Netflix earlier in the year. I guess that one's still rattling around in my noggin. And then Arcadia, which is a comic on a similar concept. Good times, good times. The spoiler thread is, I'm definitely going to put a small... Why with the feet, though? That little shit cannot die soon enough. That will spoiler-free review of Alien Earth. Not Alien Will, that is a very different show. Yeah, and Hawks, it's good. I mean, mileage may vary, but I've been having a great time with it. And it is a really good reminder that Alien Covenant might be one of the worst movies of all time. No, there's this really interesting thing that I've noticed as we get older, which is like franchises that were put forth, especially like the 80s super hits, that were not necessarily created out of inspiration or genius, but by just dumb fucking luck. That the head creatives of those projects never really had the creative groundings to work with them, and people taking their concepts and running with them are definitely able to create better things. So Hawks, I'd say both. Like, genuinely. As TV, it's good. Like, it's compelling and it's not dull. It does continuously make me laugh that whoever is in charge of picking the songs for the soundtrack has been waiting since their teenage years to have a budget to do so. But hey, I'm not judging. In the Aliens-ometer, it's extremely good. Like, it fucking gets it. And, like, not to fluff anyone's ego on a Thursday afternoon, but it's the same thing that I noticed from the good old Alien Isolation crew, in that by studying the source material and its impact, the teams who were not involved in the original creation are actually better suited to follow it on. Oh no, Hawks, for that you've got to go see for yourself. But it is worth watching, and you should only watch it on totally legal means. Thank you. I appreciate your legal Google searching. Legally search that Google. Oh, anyway, I hope you're all doing splendid. I need to let the rest of the crew know that we are live. I have coffee in my system. I've managed to pull my ass out the funk. I'm here. All right. No, but that's fine. Spare a thought. Well, no, don't. I shouldn't say spare a thought, but I forgot to pop it into game news this week because it's tangentially game news, but Microsoft is slowly reinstating their back to work mandate. So they're slowly reducing the amount of days that people are allowed to be out of the office per week. So I know that's going to affect a few homies in and around the space, and I fucking feel for them, you know. I was going to do something, and then it dropped out of my head. Oh, yes! Need to get my my Tunic supplies. There's a really cute sticker that comes with the Tunic wrapping that I kept, and I really want to cut that out while we're chatting. So yeah, this was what came with it. A little gentle note of caution, and I want to keep it because it's really fucking cute. So I'm gonna cut it out while we're nattering and chatting. Other game news wise, Acer or Acer, I don't know how you're supposed to say it specifically, but a group that's been responsible for doing a lot of like remakes and re-releases has been once again accused of using AI shite. Specifically for their Tomb Raider remake. They apparently did not bring back in the French VO for it. They just had a robot do it. They just roboted it. Well, I think it's Acer who've been accused of doing the AI upscaling stuff, but I could be going a little batty. Like, there's been so many things happening all at once, it is hard to keep track of who's being a shit right now. So. But it's that thing of like everybody who's made like oh, generative AI could actually be good if it... No. It is not something that is being used for good. Because if you use it for good, it's incredibly expensive to do the thing. The only thing that it is good for is at a corporate level, is being able to avoid paying people. Yeah, I just, Aeon, it's one of those things I didn't think we'd have to deal with in our lifetime, you know? But anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, let me tell you. What's the other... There's a little bit of game news going on. There's some weird shit going down at Ubisoft. That apparently for Assassin's Creed Mirage, Ubisoft have done a deal with... I want to make sure I'm... Okay. So we don't know specifically where the money is coming from. However, Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be featuring big new free DLC based on one of the cities in Saudi Arabia. We're all going, huh, that sure is weird timing. Just after the Saudi investment fund via Quidja has acquired most of Evo, and they're on a fucking buying spree at the moment as is. So, sports washing abound, and it sucks. But again, in the video gaming space, we have our homies. Things like the fighting game community and stuff aren't going anywhere. However, the fate of professional esports is likely to become owned by the Saudi investment fund. So there's that. Captain Steph, Watto, Sagaret, Jamami, Yeti, Watto, and welcome. But that's kind of long and short of it. It's been commented multiple times that old Yves Gelmo, or however you say it, has gone over to Saudi Arabia multiple times in the past. Last time he went was 2014, and now there's going to be a whole free DLC city added to the game, and I'm like, at a time when Ubisoft is on really thin ice, like financially, like them giving a huge amount of content away for free. Because, like, the amount of time and effort in an Assassin's Creed that goes into creating an area, a city, like, you'll get how much work that is, right? That is hundreds of people working for a year plus. So, those are any things that's really crossed my feed this morning. Too soon to tell how Borderlands 4 is doing. And it's definitely having technical problems on PC. Currently sitting at very mixed on Steam. Most of the complaints being like, this shit don't run. And Vanderbeest, Watto, and welcome. Scotty, hello, hello. Actually, that's an excellent question. What engine is... have they been open about it? Oh, okay. Borderlands 4 is UE5. So... UE5's a strange beast. It gives you a lot of toys out the box that you really need to turn off unless you either know how to implement them or how to optimize them. So yeah, Scotty, like, I know we kind of pick on Nanite and Lumen, but they're the easy problem children of UE5 optimization. And you can make them work, you just gotta know what you're doing. They're not just you know, IKEA furniture, take it out of the box, make the game look pretty. Because there's loads of UE5 games that run well. It's kind of like the like a lesser version of the Unity problem pre-Stabby Dave. So Hawks, I've heard the UE5 documentation is extensive. Like, you gotta read that shit for real. And again, like, so long as you understand what implementing things like Nanite and Lumen are gonna do to the optimization of your title, it's fine. But a lot of people just kind of flick it on and throw it in. There is something to be said that we kind of discussed with a few other titles that have been doing the rounds, i.e., right now, post-lockdown, graphics cards were insanely hard to get hold of, and the price skyrocketed. People have not been upgrading their systems to the same degree they have in previous years, so dropping a game now that does not run well on low-end systems is going to be more pronounced than it would have been. Right now, it's much harder to turn around to your user base and go, maybe it's time for an upgrade there, little buddy. But we'll see. As was pointed out, Nessa was one of the writers on Borderlands 4, and if she hasn't been credited, then I'm going to go fight Randy Pitchford with a shoe. I don't even know if he's involved. I just want to fight him with a shoe. Aeon, that is also a very, very good point. Some titles do, for UE5, do like hardware detection before running settings. So, like, I am a Borderlands fan. I did not gel with Borderlands 3. I have my gripes. I thought that Tiny Tina's Wonderland was one of the most fun dances around Tiny Tina's Wonderland is one of the best examples of letting the writers have fun. Oh, wait, cool. So yeah, we for sure know Nessa's on there. Yeah. They put Nessa above Zalavir. Yeah. Yes, I know it's alphabetical. No, I'm not going to retract that. Yeah. It's... Borderlands 4 might be one of the last of the old generation, right? And so that's why I'm kind of focusing on it. Because I talked about this with PAX, right? Like, we've talked about this a lot this year about how, like, the wheel is turning. The games industry is completely changing. The US is no longer one of the main powerhouses of development. The big studio setups are no longer sustainable in a lot of English language territories. It does not mean games are being bought less. It does not mean that, like, the creativity and the talent isn't there. That's just the industry, you know. As good Amos says, we're in the churn, and churn does not care. Whatever the English language games industry turns into, that's what we're going to see moving forward. Borderlands 4, I think, is possibly one of the last of that space. PAX had that whole feeling. You know, Borderlands 4 was doing it like we used to do back in the day. And I don't hate it, but it was just interesting to see it not have the same impact. Like, if you ever worked a convention during Borderlands 2, you saw those fucking psycho masks everywhere. For conventions and shows this year, it hasn't been the same grasp. And I don't think Borderlands is dead or bad or what have you. It's just that no one else is going to be making a game like we used to anymore. This is it. So how it impacts and how it does will be very telling moving forward. You know? That's why I'm focusing on it. Because, like, when you think about the other titles that are big and being developed in, especially North America, they're not the baseline, they're not the standard, they are the super franchises, the anomalies, right? Blizzard's not going anywhere. It may end up being, like, choked out and strangled by Microsoft at some point, and some of its projects may end up getting killed, but, like, the value of the IPs that they wield could be strip mined for another 10 years. Grand Theft Auto, you can't even think of Grand Theft Auto essentially as games industry. It is a video game, certainly, and it is made by people who make games, but it's another beast. It's another beast entirely. What even is Blizzard anymore? I mean, it's a collection of IPs that make money. You know, the international market still loves Diablo, still loves Overwatch to an extent. So I think the Chinese market hella rejected Overwatch 2, but I would need to check my data on that one. I mean, Hawks, I couldn't tell you. And again, once we stop thinking about things being like English language centric, like, because again, like, Nintendo's gonna be fine. They've got their little staple of Japanese studios. They're gonna keep doing the same thing they've always done, right? Capcom's gonna be putting out some AAA bangers over the next few years because they got the cash. You know, they're about to put out a Resi Evil, an Onimusha, and that cool kind of Pragmosnis, or whatever it's called. Little hacking girl and cool dude power armor. Now, Scotty, I also agree. I'm surprised they didn't do more for Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I think the scope of Tiny Tina's Wonderland was supposed to just be slightly more than a DLC that kind of bulked a little. But the goal was always to put everybody on Borderlands 4 and get, like, the tentpole titles on track. Yes, Aeon, Futuristic Banjo-Kazooie. That's the game. We made that joke while we were hanging out. Banjo-Kazooie of the future. Just don't try and fly that lass around. She'll hit the deck like a wet sack of potatoes. Anyway, it's just... I'm not saying that the English language games industry is dead or bad, but it's going to change. We're going to see this whole new stable of, like, small teams exploding, and maybe they'll set up their own studios, maybe they won't. Maybe it'll be all about, you know, alters and contractors. Who fucking knows? You know, Simple Chaos, I wanna agree with you. I wanna say that we're about to see a generational shift, but we gotta look at the data we have. And the data we have says, who fucking knows? Sorry, friends. I don't mean to be a fucking Debbie Downer or anything like that. I kind of fight my own personal bullshit at the moment, and I am trying to stay positive, and it is very difficult. But I have enough coffee to kill a man, and we have some cute times with Tunic to look forward to. So this is going to be a good day. And jumping back, Scotty, Gearbox have tried to make Borderlands more of a franchise than just a tentpole series, and they've had varying levels of success. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, was their first attempt at, like, franchisation. Yeah, that's a word. Totally a word. Don't think about it. Sadly, the quality threshold kind of wasn't there, and it was made by a third-party team. It lacked that something. They were also trying to utilize Handsome Jack as, like, their tip of the spear for, like, franchising out. And Tales from the Borderlands had done very, very well, but that's in no small part due to the fact that it was, you know, written by in-house team that were really fucking good. You know? I think there was a philosophy at a time that what made Borderlands work was its gameplay loop, right? Shoot, loot, shoot again. Other titles have now been able to take that formula and run with it in different directions. Because we talked a lot about legacy debt yesterday, but I don't know if we talked about, like, user expectation as debt. I.e., the Borderlands games have always had this joke about gajillions of guns with different, like, bits and pieces sticking off them and what have you, but actually, if you play a lot of Borderlands, you end up gravitating towards specific guns that go with specific playstyles, right? And Megaboss, here we are. Anyway, so yeah, I don't mean to obsess over Borderlands. I'm not trying to turn, like, the current hotness into content. It's just the case of, this is an old-style game in the games industry that we have now, right? This was a game that was made and marketed the usual way. And how it does, how the market responds to it, and that ilk is something that we do need to pay attention to. You know? And it's, at this point, again, like, I'm not talking about the content of it, I'm not talking about the story, the writing, the what have you. It's an established formula game, developed in a traditional AAA manner. Like, these are the data points that we can study. And it's also interesting when you think about how Gearbox has gone through so much stuff. Everything with Embracer, which apparently they ripped the shit out of in-game, which I'm very happy to hear. Yeah, Scotty, you can let us know how you find it. But again, I don't want you to think that I am picking on it as a title. And when I say I'm a fan, that was a drill outside. When I say I'm a fan, I am not joking. The history of Borderlands is a strange and a weird one, and there is a lot of it that, I don't know, maybe I'm getting tired, maybe the number of NDAs and shit I'm under is weird, but there are a lot of people that still hold some pretty heavy grudges when it comes to Borderlands. And there's lots of things that I can't really talk about, but I mean, it is coincidental. It is coincidental that the original Borderlands was set to be more like Rage, like a traditional shooty gun bang, but with a post-apocalyptic theme, which was the style at the time. And then their Borderlands reimagining with a cel-shaded art style and the kind of Diablo weapons loot drop just so happened to coincide with the time when Sega were giving them money to make Aliens Colonial Marines. It's so weird that's so weird. But I do have to choose my words very carefully. Suffice it to say, Borderlands did end up becoming a mega franchise. And it's no small feat. The point at which Gearbox stopped being a work-for-hire studio struggling to get by, and the point at which they actually became a studio in their own right, is with Borderlands. So Jamami, yes, there are a bunch of titles that have done JRPG battle systems with a focus on survival. And it's not complicated in theory, it's a lot of work if it was something you wanted to create. In a lot of survival games, it's essentially about resource management. You manage energy, you manage food, water, sleep, etc. That struggle for survival, that working to get to the point where you are no longer, living blip to blip. There have been a bunch of them, especially over like the JRPG Golden Age, that are really fucking interesting. And Hawks, I guess it's like what your definition of a survival game is. I was thinking more in the kind of the surviving against the elements, surviving against the world. Jamami, you'd have to talk to Damien about that one. But, there have been a few. And you could definitely create something that has that feeling of it. See, the thing that I find very, very interesting with JRPG stuff is that grinding is predominantly something that users do when they are a point of overstrength, right? But most JRPGs are about resource management. You know, if you are strong enough to just punch guy, you will then get XP for nothing other than your time. Like, start battle, hit X a few times, so your team all does their default attacks, murder all the enemies, get your XP, continue. When you are out or at level, you are taking damage. And yes, you can heal, but that heal has to either come from potions or from spells, and the spells themselves have mana, which does not, in a lot of the traditional ones, auto rework. So you create this whole, like, going out into the wilds and coming back. Do you have enough mana, enough equipment, enough stuff to make it back from as far out as you have gone? I think you do some interesting stuff with that. If you then add the idea of things beyond health and mana to look after, then you add some interesting stuff. I mean, I haven't thought about this at all. No, what are you talking about? Shut up. Scarred and Alaska, Watto, and welcome. I don't know, like I said, been watching a lot of Dungeon Chill and things like it to sleep, and that involves going through a lot of the classic... Oh, no. That involves going through a lot of the classic era Square stuff when they were just flush with cash and they couldn't put a foot wrong. And MDH, those people can eat farts with a spoon. Well, yeah, and Scotty, at a simple, like, at a source reduction level, that is the choice that adds the spice to a lot of games that have adopted the checkpoint system, right? Do I have enough stuff to continue going forward, or do I have to turn around and go back? At what point am I risking all of my goodies? You know? And Jamami, it's a good place to start. And as I said, like, all you would have to do is add something like a stamina equivocant, you know? The idea that how much people regenerate between sessions, between battles, is dependent on how much dinner you've had ometer. As that depletes, so too does your ability to restore. So suddenly, things that would be trivial start becoming more and more tricky. Darkest Dungeon gives you a lot of challenges, but ultimately Darkest Dungeon is about running your poor little guys through the fucking grinder. I think the different kinds of status effects and the different kinds of things you have to manage in Darkest Dungeon could be an interesting way of doing it, depending on the thematics of the title. But Darkest Dungeon is about just putting your fucking characters through the meat grinder. You know, it is a game that wants you to abandon your empathy and your humanity in exchange for victory. You can't keep Anne's squad alive and take them through everything by themselves. Well, yeah, and Scotty, that's where the excitement from like looter shooters as an idea comes from. You know, when I started playing Zero Seven, it really struck me that you give no fucks in the first 4 or 5 minutes of your game, and then suddenly you find some cool shit. And then you're like, I found some cool shit, but I haven't gotten to where I'm going. And I kind of want to see if I can get some more. So you make the active choice of how spicy you have to have and how much you're putting on the... how much you're willing to risk is on that like up and down. And the thing with Zero Seven, if you die, you keep what you would have taken in. So you keep the gun you would have taken in and stuff, but you lose everything else that you found while you were there. And it's spicy. So yeah, I think that you could evoke the feeling of a survival game. Because ultimately survival games boil down to acquiring resources to manage your situation in increasingly risky situations. You could mechanically put together, you know, food, water, energy, stamina, whatever you want to add to your characters without too much. And how those systems interplay with each other in a turn-based environment could be really cool. And then if you had the traditional survival thing of like the complexity and difficulty being based on distance from starting point, you know, and mechanics that you have to manage based in those areas. For example, in Subnautica, which is a survival game, it's one with a story, you really have to manage food and water pretty heavily when you're in the paddling pool area moving out. As you start building a base, then you start needing to acquire resources to construct. Food and water is still a problem, but by that point you kind of got it down pat. Then you're trying to, you know, acquire as much scrap, as many materials, start building a base. And that pushes you out into the dangerous areas where you're managing bigger threats. Once you have that, then it is about power, about research and other things like that, which pushes you further out into deeper waters with new problems to manage. You still have to worry about hunger, still worry about thirst, but by that point, maybe you've got a vehicle, maybe you're not judging it, and you get further and further out, like trying to find those rare materials, trying to maintain the power for, maybe even you get all the way up to the fucking Cyclops. Fuck yes. God, I miss that Cyclops. So you can have the difficulty from Central Point as well. And there are loads of RPGs that have done that. Weirdly, not Biomega. I got it on Steam. No, I got it on Switch. Fuck. Biomotor Unitron was a quasi-Pokemon RPG where you build a mech out of pieces and then head out and come back. And true, DJ Coil, Subnautica's limiting factor is inventory space. That's what forces you to go back. Rather than, do you have enough resources to make it back? By the point where you're out and about in Subnautica, you know, you've got blocks of food, you've got water, you've got those systems. The problems that you faced early on in your survival journey really aren't. And like, admittedly, I haven't played it in a while, but I did notice with The Long Dark that once you've got food and water kind of down pat, it changes as a game very, very drastically. And it kind of becomes how far out from your base point can you explore. God, I miss Subnautica. Which is weird because it fucks me up. Yeah, and Jawami, the great thing about, like, if you have decided you're going to do a JRPG thing, what you can do is you can prototype that pretty quickly, which I think is really fucking cool. Oh, got my Tunic homework ready to go. Tell you, my mech pictures, my pictures from mech school are getting me through the hard times today. Let me fucking tell you. Whew. Okay. Oh, but yeah, I hope you're all doing splendid, friends. Like I said, I hadn't seen anything else really on the game news sphere. We didn't get as much Rain World news today as I was hoping for. We got a trailer. The trailers for the 1.5 update for the Watcher.
I started building a Lego-inspired game. It's pretty straightforward since it's just assembly.
Thank you for the bits, friend. Thank you for the bits. So yeah, the Rain World update trailer's kinda naff. And it does seem like the final chapter for the Watcher is coming, and I'm kind of super fucking confused about what that's going to be, but it might involve another playthrough of the Watcher. So, we'll see what happens with that. Like, obviously I want more Rain World, obviously. Right, we deserve it. Okay. Sean, I heard Ehrman's one. Was there another? There's nothing over here. Yeah, so it was Ehrman's and then Vanderbeest's about 30 minutes ago was the other last one. Oh. So yeah, I know I'm a bit of a mess today, friends. Everything happens too much. Sleep has been an arsehole, and I will probably have to bring our adventures to a close at around about like 6:30ish. So I should probably get my arse in gear to do Tunic translations in the ilk. But I'm glad you're all here. I hope that I tell you all this on the regular per stream, but thank you for fucking being here. The one consistency that I have had in my life the last, like, what, fucking 7 years? Really grateful for that. Some days fucking suck. And Legend, thank you for the tiny bits. So yeah. Apparently we've still got 7 achievements to do. Oh, I guess some of those are the hidden objects and whatnot. If you're worried about spoilers, you've got a sec, don't worry. We're mostly going to be jumping back into essentially translation homework. Though I do like having a little run around at the beginning each time. I don't even know if there's anything we can spend our bits on. At least not yet. But it makes a nice break before we have to start getting into words and whatnot. So last time, I was working on the message at the very back of the book, which pertains to the front of the book, because I noticed that there were some inconsistencies between... There were some inconsistencies between the print version that I picked up at PAX and the in-game version. And that can't be coincidental. But it might be. In this game, you never fucking know. Hey, Jamami, you're always welcome, friend. Like, it's good to see you. It's good to natter. I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like stream-wise. There may be game during day and then spooky shit evening again, which could work. Or tomorrow's just going to be a fucking mess, which is also valid. At least the music's real fucking good. Okay, let's start getting this all set up. When last we left our hero, we were... When last we left our hero... let's see. Oh, and I think I've got... Hang on, let me plug the Gundam cam in as well if we're doing research mode. Fuck. Do not make me fight you. Let's see if it works. Of course not. Of course not. That would be far too easy. Here we go. Woohoo! So you'll get to see my my madness and my my notes, my deciphering. Oh yeah, so here we go. And this is where we got to before, which I believe is like the last message in the back of the book. Because interestingly, this doesn't have all of the pen notes. So if you look here in the memo section, this doesn't have any of the stuff that we have up on this one. However, yeah, so this is what we are currently working on right now. And it says, did you read the letter from us? Or did you return the letter from us? I'm still not sure about here. Like, I think that we got most of it. But I got my flashcards, and I think we updated... The camp does have a Gundam, yes. The Gundam is unrelated. He's just there to fucking chill and vibe. I don't know. Oh, God. I might need you to make another coffee. I'm so tired. Well, the thing is, I don't want to give up on this. It would be so easy to just say, you can tell me on this. Yeah, super coffee's done. And I still feel like I am not going to make it. And I can generally judge my level of caffeination by my mood. We're gonna have all of this along here to do as well. But we can work out these bits and go from there. Where's my pens? Jesus. I'm popping. I am so sorry. Okay. I've not had a vein of the bad lurg that's made me Chunder mode. Oh, that's so wonderful! They're bringing back COVID from DragonCon! So wait, so you got the sickness but not the fun? I don't know if that's a gift. Okay, so usually it's inside then out, but this first one is reversed, so it's actually down, then there. Queen Bison! We're doing our Tunic homework. How are you? Watto and welcome. How was your day? How was your stream? What's going down? Okay, this one is also reversed. So it's the outer rune first. Which is that. Followed by that. And that's our first word. Okay. So Puppin. Oh, wrong button. This is Tunic. The best way to describe this is you just got given a Japanese copy of Zelda and you do not understand what it is. It is a cutie patootie little hack and slash. It feels great to play. We have played through most of it. And now we are working on deciphering the in-game journal, of which I was very lucky to get a physical copy. But it is in-game. One of the main mechanics of this is actually finding pages of the manual in-game And so then you can place it together and start understanding the story. I highly recommend, and I promise I'm not just trying to run you out of town, I highly recommend playing this for yourself. In the list of games people wish they could play for the first time, this is up there with Outer Wilds. You know what I mean? So if you want to come and hang, I'm currently working on how to decipher the language. So you may get spoilers for how the language is written and understood. So right now, I'm taking this message, which I won't zoom in on just so it doesn't end up spoiling stuff. I'm breaking it down into its component pieces, and then I will start trying to translate all of these. But I really cannot recommend playing this one for yourself enough. Now, whether or not you decide to translate the fucking manual like I'm doing is up to you. I'm trying to build the full vocabulary, and in fact, this was a gift I got from PAX. C222 has given me flashcards for all of the different characters in this weird alphabet. Okay. Then pop in, pour yourself a nice cup of tea. I'm gonna get a coffee in just a second, and let's get to it. Oh yeah, sorry, and my brain dropped out of my head, but yeah. We're getting more Rain World content based on The Watcher. We should be getting new lore, new story, and a whole bunch of stuff. We may even be getting Jolly Co-op for The Watcher, which would be fucking great. Because the world of The Watcher would be significantly easier with, oh, I don't know, a fucking psychotic murder bastard with you. What's that? Infinitely generating spears? Don't mind if I do! Bring the whole gang. Okay. So that's the first. And the second bit is, again, reversed. So it's that, followed by that. Jesus, they're all fucking reversed. And then another reversal, which is... Okay. Alright, well, let's work on these ones. Okay, so from our own working out, we know that is N. And what's this downward point? It's a vowel sound, okay. Actually, so we were talking about this yesterday, and whilst I'm doing this, alright, I would like you all to list one game you wish you could play again with no knowledge. Yeah, J-Post, it's yours. What will you do now that you have the Yaldum? I felt bad last night because Numbers was like, oh, well, you should get dicks for dinner. And I'm like, I'm too fucking broke to get dicks. But I didn't want to say it like that because I didn't want you all to think I was fucking trying to farm you all for money. And there was something else. Megaboss is The World Ends With You. C222, Portals 1 and 2. Actually, I'd like The World Ends With You to get a high-class remake, because the world, the art style, and the thematics of that really deserved like a proper big open world. Hey, Mocha, you fucking legend! CJ, how are you doing, mate? It's been a million years! Sorry, friends. So Cedar Mocha is another Seattle survivor, moved out to, last I heard, the greater San Francisco region. Is an exceptional streamer and a wonderful bloke. Mate, if I'd known mentioning The World Ends With You would summon you, I would have been fucking running around GDC yelling it at the top of my bloody lungs. Yeah, Legend, I'm probably going to play that for myself, I think. Sorry, Legend was saying theirs is the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Slay the Princess is definitely there. Nova says Stardew Valley. I miss looking at Stardew Valley as a relaxing game about farming and not a stressful game about crop rotation that gives me fucking hives. Okay, hives is a bit strong, but you know what I mean. Okay, so that's an N. That's a T. Because some of these we've already translated on this very page. We haven't done this one. That's an S. Oh, and I've got my shorthand words as well. Well, so Legend... The Cosmic Wheel of Sisterhood is a lot of reading, which is very, very heavy on me. But also, I played the Red Strings Club. I know what could happen at any fucking point. So CD Mocha, so this is Tunic. And Tunic usually looks like this, right? This is what this game looks like. It has an in-game instruction manual that you collect pages for. This game, Tunic is supposed to evoke the feeling of playing a Japanese copy of Zelda. Like, you don't understand the language, you don't know technically what the game's about, but it's a little guy and he's got a little fucking sword and you can work that out, right? We have done most of the game, not all of it. We've now reached the point where we're actually translating the language of the manual so we can understand it. Yeah, no, it's CJ, and that's real cool. And also C222, who is also the greater San Francisco region, made me flashcards so I could help translate it faster. As in secret. Et. N? Don't know if we know this one yet. Oh, but didn't we work out that this was because it says, did you return the letter? Because that's what makes sense. Did you return the letter from us? Because it's not read. We know this is T. And CJ, I have not gotten to do nearly as much giant robot stuff as I would have liked, but I did get to build Taco Bell Gundam recently, which I actually had on my bag round PAX, and very few people asked about it. Sure, I'm not salty about. I'm not salty about. The Gundam across there, because usually this is my Gundam build stream setup. And I have been working on the SD Master Grade Wing Zero. I've actually been doing it as a co-build with a friend, which has been real cool. So yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. So CJ, have you been streaming? What have you been up to? I feel like I haven't seen you in a fucking squillion years. So this one's also EH. Et? What is et? Alright, well, we'll wait until we have more. Et N. The problem is it could be just a name. All right, well, this one's complicated, so let me write this one out. The line breaks between are just to denote the letters. I think we know this one, though. And that's fur. Oh, Mocha! I'm sorry, Mocha. CJ, that's fucking cool to hear. I'm glad work's been doing good. I've still been doing this. I was doing some consultancy stuff, but I mean, games industry's kind of right now, so I have been working on cool things with cool people that I am very excited to get started with. But I can't go into that in too much detail. And that's really been the long and short of it. Okay, did you return the letter from us? Cool, love that for us. Alright, let's see what else I got. Okay, so that's a as in, no, that's because that's got the umlaut as in all. As in press. We don't know this one yet. Sorry, Rainworld. We don't know this one yet. We're trying to work it out. As in focus. But that's only when it's on the top. When it's on the bottom, it's M. Oh yeah, so CJ, all of this language is all constructed that it would fit within like a diamond. It's a hexagonal language system. And I guess if you're hanging at this point, you don't mind me talking about it. Here's what's fucking cool. You read each letter in, out, then left to right. But in its construction, it's written with a line through the center and a break because that's the formal style of writing it. So you read the inner rune and then the outer rune, even though they're squished together. Hey, Furret, what's and welcome. Unless there's an umlaut at the bottom, which indicates that the vowel sound and the consonant sound have been flipped. Furret, you know what? It's going good. My mood fucking sucked today, and it took me a long time to get going. So I got a big coffee in me, and now I've been hanging out with you lot for an hour and change. I'm doing so much better. But yeah. And for it, it's going well. We're translating the little message from the devs from over here towards the back. And I'll try not to show too much, but yeah, so in game, you have a manual, and you find pages of it. Now, we've unlocked every page of the manual, but initially, you only find single pages. What we're translating right now is this. So yeah. I mean, Ark the Conclave, that's one way of putting it, but yeah. So Poppin, it is a phonetic language. The outer runes are all consonant sounds. The inner runes are all... the outer runes are all vowel sounds. The inner runes are all consonant sounds. And again, you see those little umlauts at the bottom of the triangle points? That indicates that the consonant and the vowel are flipped in order, because usually you read them outwards with each one, which I think is very cool. And I did get a physical copy of the book, which I have here. So as you can see, and it's really fucking cool. So now I'm trying to work out on translating this. But I don't have this vowel, I don't think. So that's what I'm trying to work out. So Poppin, I've not translated them all, but the Fox's notes is what gave us the initial alphabet, and like the tools to start translating it. So for example, in the back of the book, there's the word fox and the word sword. And because it's phonetic, not a replacement, i.e. it's not an English language replacement cipher where you just swap a letter for a symbol. It's all phonetic, as I said. So the S at the end of fox and the sword, the S at the beginning of sword, the same noise. And that little indication is what indicates that it's a phonetic language. Then we took all of that and applied it to the control scheme, because if there's one thing about video game manuals, it's that control schemes have to be consistent. If the shoulder button's name is the focus button, it must be focus throughout the whole thing. Our little character here could be Fox, it could be protagonist, it could be hero, and they can use those terms interchangeably, especially in anything involving the narrative. Because if another entity is referring to the protagonist, they may use different names. So that little fox is not a consistent name throughout. But dodge will always be dodge. Both. And now I'm trying to translate this one, because it's nice and condensed, and it makes a sort of sense. And when I can find out what it is, I'll find out what the 60 seconds is about. And it pertains, because I guess if you're sticking around now, you're in for a penny. So this pertains to this here, right? There's something here. So yeah. And here's the thing, we're working the language thing now. Even if you stick with me throughout translation time, there are some incredible puzzles hidden in this. Later on, you have to work out this. This is the golden path. This took me a day and made me feel like the smartest fucker of all time. I'm actually still very proud of how quickly I did the golden path by myself. But yeah, so now I'm using our phonics noises. We don't have this vowel sound, and that is kind of key for here. But we have or, as in sword, for. So, imst it in for 60 seconds. It's also worth noting that the phonetic pronunciation gets a bit spongy. Like this one was duh, which I then had to turn into did, duh. So it can get a little tricky to find the correct way to say stuff. But I kind of like that, you know? So it. So this could be it. That could be, I mean, what is it in? In? Could be. Because if it and in are those, then we can add them to our easy word. Wait. Easy. Where is it? Oi! Yeah, here we go. So this is what I've been doing as like the conjoiner list. Symbols of obvious and repeated words that we all know. That is to, that is the, that is a, that is for. Which I had translated already. Good work, me. Good fucking work, me. Okay. So yeah, welcome to my homework. Furret, everybody, I hope you're doing splendid. Furret, did I ask you how you were doing for wish lists after 6? Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to ask about wish lists. Alright, the world. Calm the fuck down. Beep, 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 beep. You're doing your homework. Fuck. No manners. Oh, beep yourself. Sorry, went to... Legend, I am not on the first floor, so if I get isekai'd up here, there is a lot more going on. Okay. So if we're looking at this one not as air, but as ear. So, something's... Okay, so what are these? So we know this is a T. We don't know what this one is. We really need this. And that's P. Some of these I'm just starting to learn. And do we not know that? Okay. Okay. Well, look, Furret, it's not over, and you have our might. We'll work something out. I was curious because something like 6 is interesting, and I wonder how much of it turns into wish lists. But the problem is, my data points for me are only colloquial ones of me and the squad who literally go around phones out adding games to our wish list. But 60 seconds. Did you return the letter from us? Now the letter from them is up at the top. Huh. So far it said they got 200 wish lists from the 2019 6. And between the event and Steam Festival, they got 130. Interesting. I wonder if it's... Now, you were upstairs kind of hidden. But then again, Naru, what and welcome. We're just going to pop up to the mountain real quick. True, a multiplayer game with a fast turnaround. I mean, I certainly wouldn't recommend making one of those right now. Oh, sorry. Naru, thank you for pointing out. A little hyperactive fox is on the way. Also, we can change up the tunes a little. I mean, I keep saying, I really do want to help Furret with that and others. Like, and I want to talk to you about, like, if you're hunting publishers or whatnot. And I know you don't want to talk about, well, that's not something you want to talk about on stream, which I do completely understand. Okay, now it says for 60 seconds. Now, I do wonder if pray was what it is. So let's hold it down and see if holding it down for a minute does anything. Just sip on the fumes of my coffee before I get another one. Okay. I mean, it's not like back in the day where I could have just been like, hey, let me put you in contact with somebody, and then it would have been fine. Those days are long gone. It was nice, though. Like, for a brief moment, I used to be able to really help people in games. I like that. Didn't even do that shit to get paid. Not anymore. Sakurai doesn't return my calls after the incident. Well, CJ, if it's your Kirby Street Racing idea, I've got bad news. I think Sakurai stole it. I think the last time the three of us went drinking, you know, you, me, and Sakurai, like how we do, yeah, I think he stole your idea. I'm just saying for it, well, I can't talk about the incident. The fact that Kirby in the Forgotten Land is clearly Kirby going through the wreckage of the Greater Seattle region. No coincidence. DJ Coil, yes, but in a close second place, adding, you know, with your history. Anytime someone does something, be like, are you sure you should do that? You know, given your history. Okay. Try holding up for 60 seconds while we're here. Because I'm hoping if maybe something can be revealed. I don't know. Then that'll indicate that the translations are on the correct path. Otherwise, I think we've just got to maybe do the last line of this sentence. See if it reveals what it is we're supposed to be doing. Poppin says, possibly immersed because of the phonetics on the letter. As in, did you return a letter from us? Immerse it in for 60 seconds. But so that would mean that that vowel sound is possibly But then the question is like, how would we immerse this? I think there's only one region where we can actually like soak in the water. Look, your joke, if you've never smelt fox piss, you don't get to make fox piss jokes. I love foxes. I have those motherfuckers tattooed on me. They're the only bastards that keep the same hours that I do. But, oh, stinky. I love those little guys, but they're stinky. Yes, me and foxes are both known to scream at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I was about to say something that was very long ship after dark, and I didn't, so I'm going to treat myself to another coffee in a second. It was extremely not safe for work. Oh, we might actually be able to use the beach down here to, like, submerge for 30 seconds. This one, because if this is letter so in theory, if this is let that's then what is pater? Because water pater? Water. There's no P sound in water. It fucking shouldn't be anyway. Do not pee in the water! But I have a feeling that my British pronunciations might be making a pig's ear of this. Okay. Kakazi, that's my secret. I'm always making piss water. I'm making piss! Kidneys, what are you doing? I'm making piss! You know, fish fucking it. Actually, poppin' pee is stored in the balls. Everybody knows that. Sorry. Ha-ha! It was! Alright, so we submerged this, and that's what happened. Okay. But that, alright, okay. So we're gonna hang out on the beach. So it was immerse it in something for 60 seconds. We immersed the manual. And in the physical manual, if we come back here, this was one of the things I noticed that was different, right? See? This is just a lightly shaded element. So, we now have that. Now let's finish translating this because we know the action. And if this is correct... Actually, no. The is correct. So... We got or as in sword, and now we have as in immerse. It's not really very good, is it? Sorry, my dyslexic ass coming in there. Yeah.
Immerse in water for 60 seconds, and if swelling doesn't go down, see a doctor.
Okay. All right. CJ, don't be a stranger. It's really good to see you. All right, and to be continued. And Bacon, thank you for throwing the bits in. I guess you could call this game an immersive sim. God. All right. I'm not going to take a full break. And if you want to have a quick look at what we're working on right now. Because, all right, we know what it means. Immerse in water for 60 seconds. So now we're going to translate that bottom line just in case something else comes forth from it. And I'm going to pour it in the coffee. This is just a drip coffee, though, so it's not like I'm going to, you know, see through the fucking heavens. Although, I don't know, I'd go for some trippy-ass space coffee. Fuck it, let's get our Kirby mug. Let's do legal psychotropics, and let's see through space-time. We do not condone the use of illegal substances on Twitch.television. Legally, I have to say that. Okay, that's pouring. Happy babies. Oh. Yeah, Thundercat's coffee, sight beyond sight. Okay, that's pouring. All right, so, but this one, what is this? What is this one? Because we know this is per, right? Do we know that's per, or are we speculating? No, we know it's per as in path. So what could be this? Did you get the letter? Did you return the letter from us? Immerse it in water putter for 60 seconds. We did that. All right. So let me just break down the next bit. So it says 2. So 2. The next one is S something. That could be the E to C. Okay, so yeah, that is definitely an E, double E sound. Now, have we marked that off on our splash cards? Yeah, E as in shield. To C. To C A. To see a... It's got to be secret, right? Oh, shit! C222, you're right. It's not. P's not a vowel sound. P's not stored in the balls. Of course. How could I have not worked this out? Who knew? P is not stored in the balls. I am not doing okay today, but for coffee and nonsense, I shall prevail. That's where I made the mistake. I'm using. It's a vowel sound. And I'm using the consonant sound that looks similar. Because there's no umlaut, there's no reversal, meaning it's a consonant sound. Someone compared me and LoFi to the characters from The Mummy, except for I'm clearly the fucking librarian. And that has not been lost to me, as I am now fucking Bainbridge scholaring it up all open this fucking place. At least I look good in a skirt. Right! So it's not that sound. It's the vowel sound, which makes it water, which means this is a W sound, a W. It's gotta be. Immerse it in water for 60 seconds. Yeah. Water as in talk, not pee as in what the fuck are we doing? Which makes that W. Immerse it in water. The problem, of course, being the British pronunciation of water. You'll notice that I have said that word multiple times and I've pronounced it different every single fucking time. Sorry, I figure you can see my notes. Q would be on his balls. When you think about what Q could actually do with those powers, it's very disturbing. Vanderby says, what did you have for the third word in that clue? Oh, I haven't copied it out yet. But I just wanted to make sure we got the W down, because I don't know if I've added that. Because it's like every one of these that we crack gets us one step closer. Yeah, so that's per. That's the one I thought it was, but I was actually reading from the wrong crib sheet. No. Alright, where in the consonant fuck are you, W? I know you're here. Can't wait to go back and translate the note that Nova sent me. There we go. There's our W. W as in water. Okay. Genius! God. One of the reasons why I despise rich people, and I don't mean like people who have the finances to afford their own home and not worry about healthcare, but people for whom money is no longer a problem. One of the reasons why I despise them is very simple, in that if I had that kind of money, you could do so much fun, cool shit. Oh, to FW Crash, Watto, and welcome. So I'm assuming you've played through it, so I'm just gonna talk. Hopefully I'm not spoiling things for you. I have done so I've gotten all the Fae, we have gotten the first ending, and we have done most of the hidden items. We have the whole book, and so I'm working on translating the language so I can decode them to start doing whatever the final puzzle is. So don't tell me the solution, but feel free to come and chat about, I guess, anything and nothing. And Crash, do you want an indie game? Do you want mildly unhinged, caffeinated British man to recommend you an indie video game. Because... okay. But yeah, so Crash, I'm probably about 2/3 the way through the consonants, about halfway through... 2/3 the way through the vowels and halfway through the consonants. Well, actually, Crash, this was $19. I got it at PAX. I got the physical edition. Oh, virals! I might have said a different game. Don't fucking judge me. You put me in the right fucking box, though, I will admit. That's called stereotyping, and it puts people like me in little boxes. Chose the right box, though. But yeah, so Crash, my name is Will. I've worked in video games for like a million years. I will talk your ear off about weird indie video games that no one else cares about. And I'm having a blast. Like, honestly, this is probably our third stream of just me eyeballs deep in the fucking language. And I'm having a great time. Now, we just cracked the submerged, the manual in-game in water. But I want to keep going just in case I can crack another couple of consonants. So Crash, I don't know if you like Shooty Gun Bang, but my current obsession, and everyone here is going to laugh at me for bringing this up. My current obsession is a game on Steam called Project Silverfish. It is, take the Stalker series, but instead of it being like Slavic post-Chernobyl, it's like Feywild's Nightmare? You play a cool lizard who has gone into the zone to work off your impossibly large debt. The zone is filled with varying military factions, freedom fighters, and nightmares beyond comprehension. 420. It's an hour and 47. Thank you very much, C222. I'm obsessed with it. I haven't worked on it. I'm not involved in it. Like, I mean, this isn't a pitch. It's my current obsession. And it is so good. And one of the reasons why I like it is not just because it's realistic gun handling in an unrealistic situation, but also it is another game that says, all right, it's on you to work it out. So, for example, you have to find a key to get into a special area. You go to the building where the key should be, and it's not there. So you look through the files, and it's like, oh shit, Dave was the only fucker with the key, but Dave went home ill. So then you have to go and find where Dave's house is in the city. There's no quest markers, there's nothing like that. Like, and that kind of like, no, you work it out puzzle solving is something that I really enjoy. The creator's previous game, Attica, was very Half-Life 2-esque and did some very similar things. Hey, and if shooters aren't your jam these days, I understand. Pretty much anything that isn't sports, I will get obsessed over. But yeah, that's my current obsession. Just kind of, my reaction speeds are mostly shot, so I can't really play online shooters and stuff very much. I've been playing a little bit of a Tarkovian type game. I guess because right now the games I'm streaming are this, obviously Silksong, but I have this little guy tattooed on my arm. We've been House Hollow Knight for a very long time. Ooh, Orzine, that's a good recommendation. So, Crash, has Dread Delusion crossed your feed? It's like the sequel to Morrowind we never got. Like an acid-soaked mushroom RPG that takes place on floating islands after mages broke the fucking planet and everyone has to live on these like tiny Magitech islands. Oh, sorry, not Magitech, like floating crystal islands. And sorry, I don't mean to jump on, if you're here for Tunic stuff, you know where I'm at, right? More than I do. I'm at the translation phase, working out this. But The rest of the time, I am a fanatic when it comes to weird and interesting indie games. I love language puzzles. So I'm sure you know about Chants of Sonar, but has Heaven's Vault crossed your feed? Or, if you really enjoyed this and you want to be an absolute sicko, look up Kevin on Steam. It is very rudimentary, but one of the things that is so fascinating about it is that there's no confirmation of your translations other than your own work. If you like phonetic languages, I do also recommend the gentleman who made it is actually called Kevin. His second work is a game called Ginger, where you actually have to work out the sounds of the words. Yeah, I mean, I guess I like Rain World. Oh, you can't see it because the chair. I have every slug cat from Rain World. I'm a huge Rain World fan. All right, sorry, I'll stop pitching at you.
I hate driving around Toyota Highlanders. They're always fighting about there can only be one.
Yeah, they just don't share. Akari Zero, thank you kindly. And, actually, Akari, you gave me these limited run cards, which I have not yet opened. And I don't know, are you sticking around long enough for me to crack these open? Because we can do that.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are 4 reptilian heroes
Oh, you
who
legend!
overcome the arch villain Shredder.
And Crash, seriously, thank you. I wouldn't have mentioned this prior, but like, I stream for a living, right? This is what I do to pay my rent. You know, that's 5 subs to the crowd, which is very generous of you, but that'll also help me fucking eat. So seriously, thank you. And I was trying to say this to the Beard who popped around yesterday, who played through Tunic but didn't do the translation, and that is that, like, there aren't many translation games that are good, right? Oh, okay, and Akara Zero, if you're doing D&D, I'll put these away for another day. But thank you. But yeah, there aren't many translation games. You know, there are games that have replacement languages in. You know, I felt really fucking cool when I translated the language in An Airport for Aliens Currently Run by Dogs. But it's just a replacement language. What's the Tunic alphabet code for howdy neighbor? Very complicated. But I did just get the were. But how? What? Is what? War? They might be different. Oh shit! And Sam, thank you. How are you doing, mate? Whoever gifted FW Crash a sub, thank you. Because that means, if Crash you do decide to come on back, you don't gotta worry about ads. And are we doing a train? Is this fucking... You lot. You can't... Me being a fucking sad sack all day. Thank you. Alright. Where's our little train? Oh. It's a homework train.
Stop that incessant.
Oh! And Simple Chaos, thank you for gifting one to the Pop-In. So yeah, so pop in while you're recovering. Now you don't have to worry about ads when you pop on in. Like, I know we're all fucking broke at the moment, so really appreciate it. And Sam, like, it's always good to see you. I did want to say sorry about the PAX bit when we spotted each other. We were going through some shit, and it was like the right time where I saw you. And usually, I know I'm like the most positive PAX person. And on top of that, then when all the fucking sports fans bundled into the light rail, I wanted to go full Fred Durst mode. Not on you, but just in general. So, good to see you. Hope you like languages. It's just one of those days. You would not fucking believe. No, I'll show it on camera, actually. The message I just got. It probably doesn't show up. Nintendo. Hollow Knight Silksong, now available. Wow, Nintendo. Thanks for that email. However would I have known? You're so on the ball. Fucking alright. And Lena, we're doing very, very good. These lovely Mother Hubbards have started a hype train that is already at 3. We're doing the translation bits from Tunic, so if you want to avoid Tunic spoilers, I completely understand. You don't have to call me out like that, Sam. Damn.
Languages? Sure, when Will gets stumped and killed by a monster in-game, he tends to have all kinds of words and languages to say.
True. My ability to articulate specific kinds of language is very, very prompt. And Bacon, thank you for the bits. Yeah. And Crash, because I know loads of people haven't had a chance to play Silk Song, I'm limiting myself to 1 day a week. Hang on, whilst you lot have a hype train going. There we go. Whilst you lot have a hype train going, I'm going to totter our little friend back. And J-Post, thank you. Ah, and Lena, that's a lovely compliment. Because, like, I was raving about Tunic on the run-up to launch, and then it ended up doing great. Like, it didn't need my help. And shiny rocks are very appreciated. Thank you. I really like this tune over here. The other one's a little too, what's the term? Dave the Diver? Okay, so to C A, and then let's to C A, and then it's going to be S. Yeah, C. Secret.
I'm excited for the weekend to come. I'm going to see a small play about the life of a poet/comedian and her struggles about making her material. It's basically a play on words.
Fuck you, Simple Chaos. I was like, oh my god, who are you going to see? Is it anybody I've heard of? Fucking bastards. Well, and that is one whole hype train. All of you, thank you. Like I said, because we have new folks here, everything that you lot throw in is how I pay the rent and how I feed me and the guinea pigs. So, sincerely, thank you. Okay? Like, seriously. I'll pop it on back over here. Or I think I have to actually turn off the hype train manually over here. There we go. I don't know if we have everything for secret. So I'm going to go through it and maybe there's a letter we don't have. Because in theory it should be to see a secret message. Or a secret note. But we'll break it on down. And Lena, Megaboss, again, that's a huge compliment, you know? As someone who also listens to varying content and whatnot to sleep and to get shit done, the idea that I can be that for any of you lot is wild to me and a huge compliment. So Lena, the guinea pig's doing good. They have gotten very fussy. They have started turning their nose up at kale. And the other day, they picked all the broccoli out of their broccoli slaw. They just threw it around, ate the rest. But they're doing real good. They need a nail trim. I am here. But the stream is still going. I had a wonderful birthday. And we did a whole PAX. PAX was a mixed bag, but both the panels and the stream went really, really good at PAX. So yeah. Vernon, you might be a smidge late for first, but I don't know. Give it a click. See what happens. No, I've been having a hard couple of days is all. I don't want to go into it. But games be poppin', yo. If you haven't been in a while, so like right now we're drowning in good games. We got this, Silk Song, and Hell Is Us as kind of our main rotation. There's also a plethora of incredible games I want to play with others and stuff. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Bear with me just a second. There we go.
In case you were looking for one more game, and you haven't had the chance to play it yet, really wanna stress Expedition 33 is something worth considering.
Oh yeah, no, we've been talking about Expedition 33 a lot. And honestly, like, it's an hours in a day problem. Like, I try and focus on things that either we really want to do as a squad or things that need more, like, support and coverage. Expedition 33 is amazing because it's that thing of if everybody actually did the thing, i.e. asking their art teams to make something really, really fucking cool, like, we'd have so many of those titles. But as a few art friends have been saying, it's like, you know, they get the pitch from their bosses that's like, oh, we want Persona 5, but like this. So they do mock-ups, and then they eventually just like, it's death by 1,000 cuts until you have yet another bland title. Oh, and Naru, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, oh, and Crash, thank you for the bits as well. It has been very, very funny that Expedition 33, I know it's Claire Obscura, but that's been the cosplay of the summer, that every convention has been inundated with, someone called them just the baguettes, but there was, oh god, there was a great term for them. Just dropped out of my noggin. Oh shit, you're helping localize caves with quad? No, that's fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. Okay, so that's T. C. Cra. Alright, what are you, my K-sounding Mother Hubbard? C. K. Ruh. Did we already get that one? Oh, that's cool. So, which language are you working on? Well, so, yeah, localization is more than just direct translation, but yeah. Alright, C222, if we see you when you get back, then fucking brilliant. Otherwise, to be continued. Okay. We must have this one, right? There's no way Kerr hasn't been done. We still don't have jumping jack guy, but we do have as in shield, which is straight down guy. We have Zert and Shur. Sorry, I keep forgetting I need to flash these to you all. Furt as in fox. Don't know what the flip side of Furt is. Got Gur. So here's Gur as in golden, and yeah, Shur as in focus. Kurt as in focus, so C correct. Alright. To see a secret. Okay. Did you return the letter from us? Immerse it in water for 60 seconds to see a secret. Alright, and then let's do this one. I think this next one's going to be note. Yeah, so it's N. Wait, no, you're like that. It is a secret message. M. E. S. M. E. S. E. J. Message. Now, did we already translate that one? I think we did. I think, yeah, J as in legend. Okay. Booth! Nailed it! Did you return the letter from us? Immerse it in water for 60 seconds to see a secret message! Pen drop. Woo! Now, should we translate the secret message? Okay. Let's get one of those little fucking magnifying glasses and shit. Okay. Alright, this is our next message to translate. Now, do you want that one up on page, or do you want to see my workings? I wish I knew how to read. Yeah, and Virals, I'm so sorry I didn't respond to the Friday thread. For tomorrow, I'm not quite sure what the day stream, night stream setup will be, but it should be a good one. Organizing a group stream tomorrow is more than I have capacity for. Oh no, Poppin, I'm going to write it out regardless. It's like, what do you want to see? Because this is in like a shaded, almost grey. And as you can see, it's not showing up on camera. No, so Simple Chaos. It's not that the manual is considered a letter in verbiage. It's, dear player, you've come a long way, haven't you? You probably found a lot of secrets. Maybe you stumbled across a hidden trophy room. Perhaps even freed every fairy. We hope you had fun, but there's one more thing for you to do. This is your final page. You should visit a certain someone and share your wisdom. Thank you so much for playing. And beneath in text it says, keep this letter. You never know when it will be useful. Do not dispose of or eat this document. Okay, we actually do have to go down and sit in the water to read it. So Virals, I've talked about Vexbox, and if you want to drop the link back in, because there are some new folks here. So yeah, so basically Virals' friend is working on a puzzle game, if I didn't show you yesterday. I want to see if it reveals in real time here. Or if we have to... Now, you know what? I'm just going to reveal it. Vexbox is basically like a stacking tile game that has... It's genuinely good. It starts out so simple, and it's just brilliant. It's the... What did I call it? It's the Dream Quest of Mahjong, for lack of a better term. Dream Quest, by the way, if you don't know it, was a very, very early deck builder roguelike, which was built by one person, littered with programmer art. And it is very, very good. It was banned from Blizzard for a while because it went through the design team like wildfire and nuked productivity on Hearthstone for like 4 or 5 days. The gentleman in question actually ended up getting a full-time job based on that game. Now, obviously, like, going to work at Blizzard right now is not the same as it was back in the day. I mean, Naru, we know Caves of Quad. I, for a long time, would point to it as an example of, like, we don't have to have every fucking fantasy game be exactly the same shit every time. Okay, well, I certainly know Caves of Quad. I love that shit. And do I play it as much as I would like? No, but... Okay. Let's get to work. Also, just very, very quickly, for those of you who have just seen this, now you'll notice how I'm writing the language and how here there is a gap in the middle. That is basically their equivalent of, like, formal, like, typed. The space in the middle and the line straight through just denotes the length of each word. Oh shit! No, Naru, I guess I haven't talked about Caves of Quad as much as I used to, so that's not on you. Okay, so it's the... Alright, so the first symbol is the. Okay. Wow. So it's the sa. The sa. Ooh, I don't know if we know this one. Because this is the clipped version. No. Okay, so that first word's going to be a bit of a trip. Because if we look over here, it's this one I don't know if we've gotten yet. No, we have. The saf? Safe? Okay. The saf. Yeah, God, they made it really fucking hard to read. All right, I know it mutes the music a little bit, but I need to work off of this. I'll show you my workings out once we get to it. Okay, so that's a T. Saft. Huh? Which one's that one? Saft. The safe test? The safest? No, it's 2 words. The safe test? Test. Okay. Some of these words are so complicated. Alright, well... Well, that's fur. Thank fuck, there are no umlauts. Oh, I don't think we have that downward fork. I think we have that on the flying. That's So the downward fork we don't have yet, I don't think. But we do have that. The safe test for it. Is it Chia? No. Alright, well, let's keep going. Alright, next row. Nice and complicated. Love challenge. Love challenge. Alright. Cow. Whew. And Austin, Watto, and welcome. We're definitely making headway today. We know that one is. Alright, vroom vroom, fuck off. It's K. Bainbridge Scholars. I don't know if we've cracked that one. A need for stationary speed. That's an ah. Is it path? Ah. Vroom vroom fuck off is the name of my children's book. I would read that in a heartbeat. Okay, so this one is an umlaut reverse. So it's that followed by another C sound. And this one is air. Okay, then it's a T. Is it character? Now, do we know what the opposite of... Is it character? Do we know what the opposite of T is? Is it duh? I think it's duh. Sturdy Kiwi, Watto and welcome. I mean, I'll tell you, it's easier than fucking English. Character? Ugh. Jesus, look at this next one. Allows for dues. Okay, so it's reverse. So it's that. Then that. Jesus. Another one of those. Then whatever that is in reverse, which I don't think I've translated. Then one of those. And then one of those. Okay. We know that one. English wasn't made easy, and it was made more difficult out of spite. I don't think we have this one, but we do have this one. So we've got Ella something in. Ella in. Ellamen? Ellaman. Ellarin? Elladen? Elladen! Ah, we've got some fucking elves all up in here! Fucking elves, I tell me! Fucking elves. Okay. Now, I know where this is. No, there's no T numbers. But we can come back to it. We can come back to it. I swear, yes. Simple Chaos, I swear to God, if the secret of shared knowledge is just be sure to drink your Ovaltine. I'm gonna do a crime! I'm gonna do a crime loudly! Okay, well, let's go on to the next word, which is T. Floaty little bastard. That one. And then this bastard, which I don't know if we have. That's Z. I think that's Z. How fortuitous. Where's that fox? Fur as in fox. That's got a line through. It's Z, as in controls. That one on its own is M. So what's this? That's a floaty fucking vowel if ever I saw one! It's not I. Not A. Or I as an item. Okay. The safe test feature, maybe. Character Ella in times fucking hell. Alright. A word full of reversey Percy's, our favourite, I know. At least we're done with the umlauts for now. Okay, so next up it's upside down Y, which is duh, followed by this bastard. Oh yeah, at this point, friends, do you want to see this or do you want to see what I'm working on? Please let me know which you prefer. You know, language translation is always wild. Okay, that's definitely per. And then I don't know if we have the one up, one down. Jesus, then another ter. That. And then another der to end. You, I know you. I know you. We've met before. Yee. Eep. Alright. Did we ever crack the up and down bastard? Alright, come on. If we're gonna Pepe Silver this, you should see my red string flavored nonsense. And seriously, C222 cannot get thanks enough for these flashcards. Because the only other thing I would have been able to do is just make a massive fucking whiteboard of all of this shit. Alright, this bastard is unknown. Okay. I almost need like another color pen. Do I have one of the Twitch pens around here? I do! I do. Ah! Purple. The Twitch merch we get at the Twitch meets is usually abundant. So I can show you the letters I haven't gotten. So like this bastard here, we don't know. This one here, we don't know. This one here, we don't know. Alright. And you can't see the difference on the screen. I love that for us. I think this is character. But not knowing these makes it harder. Okay. We still got... So that's... You son of a bitch! I'm sure you're very lovely. Yeah, I'm sure your mother's very lovely. You're a bitch. Okay, so we've got tall here. Followed by up here. And then good old... And then this Mother Hubbard, which is... yes. You are... We do know down fork? You're right, it's the feature. Feature? Feature? That could be feature. The safety test feature. The SAF test. The saftest feature. Character. Good at maths. Hang on. Let me finish these Mother Hubbards first. Because the thing is, we've just done this page, which has so much shit in it. It's quicker than going to the guide for now. So, tall down, do we work out? Okay, tall up is What is tall down? We must know tall down. The splash cards! Nah. We still don't know this guy. Some fucking cursed rune shit. The Grr. Okay, there's Fox. Oh, it's up Crowfoot, we don't know, not down Crowfoot. Okay, so... Little tiny man going down. Tiny man jumping up, we don't know. Hurt as in hold. Res and roll. Yeah as in you. I don't know, what's Crowfoot with you? What? Ones? You're killing me, Smalls. It's like this, but into Glaswegian. Okay, last but by no means least, it's... coffee. It's fantastic. So, or, and then the low spring is more. Alright, so now, how do we fucking read this? Okay. I didn't miss any words, I don't think. Okay. The safe test feature, character, Ella in's times. Yeah, and Simple Chaos, that's what keeps it from being like a straight translation, which is kind of cool. It gives you that kind of like that vibe of actually translating another language. But we're still missing these two characters here. We still don't know what this little matey boy is. And to be clear, It's straight down with a jut off, and then a jut up here, and then this one, the upside down bracket motherfucker. Eep to Inder. Eep to Inder. Once more. Once more. The safe, safe test for feature character. Well, and also my pronunciations of just general English words are fucking weird. All right, but it's here. That's where we need to go. And I know where that is. And I've known this thing was fucking something. So playing this fucking game. Okay, wrong beach. I was totally sharing my screen. What are you talking about? Fuck off, you two. I don't have time. Okay. All right. Here it is. Sorry. So the picture's gone now, but it clearly points to this spot. It's RNG manipulation for later. Fuck. Okay. Alright, the safest... Saved test feature. Okay. The safe test feature. Character... Okay. So that's where we are. Safe test feature. Because it's definitely two words here, so it's not safest. Safe test feature. Character. Innen. Times. Times. To something once more. Okay. This is what I'm staring at here, and it pertains to this location that you just saw with the hook. Ella! Alright, Coffee, do your fucking job, mate. Sorry, I just saw Scotty's. Sounds like the end credits to Buffy. Grr. Arg. Wait, so Naru, are you implying that if the word connects by other lines... Oh, shit! Okay, so what Naru is pointing out is that with these words, which I've broken down into two pieces, because if you look at this, the line going through them is broken. However, the words connect. God, don't tell me that that line through is also a pronunciation thing, because I will shit kittens. Or shittens, if you will. But that would mean that this isn't safe to s to s to. It would be s after s to s after safety safetyst. Okay, this is that thing where you stare at a word and you try and sound it out so many times that it ceases to have meaning. Like, we did so good with this page, and now I'm just trying to have, like... Now, I do think this is feather. Feather. It's not feature, it's feather. 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 Because this TH here isn't... It's the. It's the part of the. Oh. Unless the fumes are starting to get to me. I need snack cheese. I need snack cheese. Alright. I get snack cheese. Well, no, Poppin, it's not getting English out of my mind. It's because all the pieces have to fit, and it's trying to smash the pieces together. And I just want some snackage. I tell you what, friends. I tell you what. Let's call a quick little break. I'll nip to the loo. Scoff a snack. And that way I can also, like, hoof down some water or something. And then we can go from there. I'm definitely getting to the point where I need to take a... Just not looking at this. I don't want to take a break from y'all. But just not looking at this for a second will probably help. I think. Yeah. So, snack break. Alright, back here in 2 secs. Found the cheese. Okay. Cheese acquired. So, thank you all for waiting. I'm sure about times. I'm sure about once more. Sorry. We're working on translating this page. I don't know if you can see it. Now, they threw us for a fucking loop on this one because I thought this was safe test. But it's actually SAF test. That's not an O, that's an A. The saftest feather. I mean, we're not going full fucking Glaswegian over here. And it's something to do with this hook. So yeah, sorry if I bring it back to gameplay. The page in the book is indicating here, right? And we're missing 2 sounds. So there's an ele and then something in, or innen. Safest. No, that's a different group altogether. Oh yeah, Crash, you can see my notes. Boof. I got it. Now, is that first vowel, is that an A or an A? Because I write down the quick notes as we're going through it. Okay, so it's all or or, as in talk, to orca. So or the soft. Okay, it is softest. Alright. It's softest. Alright. The softest feather. Path, but cut off egg, header, fuck, the softest feather. And that is, it's definitely the softest feather. Because I'm just like, if we could lock in this one as well, we know this is times. Tim's. Because it's not N for this one, these are 2 separate characters as opposed to N where it's over the top. I was doing like a formal print structure of the 4, like the 2 diamonds on top of each other, which was a good way of like showing it, but... Okay. Once more. like every word that we crack is more towards our vocabulary. I do want to do the cathedral puzzle because that whole puzzle makes me want to do a crime. Okay. Yeah, we're going back to the cathedral at some point, Naru, because that puzzle was driving me up the wall. But also, I'm thinking the cathedral puzzle is going to give us indications as to what the fuck those other foxes were. Oh shit, Puppin, are you still here? I did not notice earlier on that due to gifted subs and shenanigans, you have actually been made the Jarl. What is your Jarl's decree? What will you do with your seat of power? My fucking cheese wrappers everywhere.
Captain on the bridge.
Oh, too late.
What hope?
Neoshido, Watto, and welcome, friend. Jesus. Obviously, 82 months is an inordinate amount of time, but at 3, fucking legend, thank you. How are you doing? Tell me your tales! Oh, sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure we got a screenshot of this. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, Neoshido, congratulations on surviving. Kick off the shoes, pour yourself a cup of whatever you fancy. I'm doing my translation homework. I was certainly having a morning. And then I spent the last nearly 3 hours hanging out with your lovely selves. And now I am doing splendid. Though I'm stumped on this one. And it fucking tripped me up because I've been going by a word structure in this for translation that this one broke. So what I thought was SAF test. So I thought safe test. And then was like safe test feature? It's no, softest feather. And this first one is path. Oh, and the thing is, I've been staring at this and trying to construct the pronunciations of it, and I'm going a little bit loopy. Duh. Softest feather, comma. But this next one is one fucking word. It's all joined, it's all connected. Correct path? Nah. It's path. It's correct. Because it's core. Because that'd be core. There'd be way more R's. And it wouldn't end in duh. Because we know this one is duh. Now this one we're working on, but we're missing this like key sound in the middle of the word. So we've got ele men. I mean, we all thought elemental or something, but there's no T's, no nothing. And it ends in an in. We got times. And once was That was a tricky bastard. We got it. And then more. Once more. That's cool. It's this. This we have all the sounds for, but I can't make it fit. And if we have the sounds for this one, then it will shape these two. Do you know what I mean? And whatever it is, it pertains to this hook here. So, welcome to my Tunic homework. Yeah. Softest feather. And it's definitely 2 words, yeah. Also, there's so it's the softest feather, something, 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 comma, eat to did once more. Oh shit! L E Vin V 11. 11! 11! So that would make this a V sound. The softest feather, something 11 times. Now, do we have any feather items? We don't. V as in violence. V as in 11. I don't see anything feather-like. Also, have a weird bug where my blue diamond is missing. We went back down and recollected it from the space below, but oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so we've got the. Now I want to confirm that one before we add it proper, but no, you know what? Fuck it. The anklet has wings. It does. You're right. But let me add this ver, because that was a bastard, and ver is not one we're going to come across. 11 ver. Instead of it being 11, it's 11, which I think is pretty fucking cheeky. Oh, fuck off. Okay. Oh, I will fucking stab you. No, sorry, not any of you lot. Windows keeps trying to help. Okay. So we got V's in violence. Oh, Neo Sto, also the Yaldum is now yours. You managed to unseat the Puppin. What will you do with your newfound power? Something 11 times. The softest feather. Something. Ka. 11 times. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna ask for help with this one. So this word here, I'm formally requesting help for this one because we've translated all the words. We've translated all the construction. I've quadruple checked. It's one word. Alright? It's one word. Neo Shadow, I can promise you I will do one of those two things. Because I have noticed this wild thing that when I ask for people to go, all right, you know what, for this one, I've cracked all the letters, I need help on this one. Everyone's all like, let me give you the most cryptic of hints. But people will just walk in and be like, oh, it says this. And I have to mute people and yell at them. Softest feather. Something 11 times. And I've got all the sounds. Why it's not piecing together. It's driving me up the wall. We got once more. We got times. This missing one here is a bastard. Fuck's sake. Alright, you know what? Fuck it, I'll work it out. The one time I cracked and went, you know what, you can tell me this one. And everyone's like, well, I don't know. Winnie, 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 winnie. Fucking. Okay.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Man, the myth, the legend, Alan Turing. And proof that all governments are trash. With no exceptions. You son of a bitch! No wonder it's not fucking fitting. It's the wrong symbol. It's not ah. It's fucking or. Correct. Softest feather. Correct 11 times. That doesn't make any sense! No. No, you all had your hinting privileges revoked. No, see, Ortrazini, we've got le. Collect. K or eh. There's no L's in that. And there's no heavy R's. Anyway, like I said, I asked you all to tell me this one, and you all got all fucking cryptic on me, so you can all fucking shush. You had your chance. You all had your chance. I cracked. I asked. But no. So now, you can take your butts, and you can shut them. You can shut every butt. Find every butt, and shut it. Your window has closed, and so have your butts. Anyway, I found a bad rune. Okay. Okay, that one's still correct. But let's check that vowel sound, because it's another air, but it's air as in what kind? Good, good. Secret. Secret. Ed. Secret. Ed. Corrected. Softest feather corrected? K or act. Ed. The. K or corrected? Collected? Yeah. Ortreats, you might be onto something. The softest feather corrected 11 times. That one's D as in sword. D. Sword. Corrected. D. Corrected. The softest feather corrected. Alright, that's our current working theory. What the fuck does that mean? The softest feather corrected. 11 times. The softest feather corrected 11 times. Deep. Did. Times. Just making sure it's not fucking with us. Softest feather. Assuming this is correct, the softest feather corrected 11 times. Something once more. It's like a fucking haiku or some shit. When is it time to start drinking? Okay.
Yeah, it's time to start drinking. Though, sadly, for all my alcoholic abilities, puzzle solving of language varieties is not actually improved by gin, which will shock you. Softest feather. Correct. Softest feather, correct. That's poetry, not instruction. And we don't have anything in our arsenal that pertains to a feather direct, except for, so far as we can tell, this one. Alright, I swear to God, the next person who's like cryptic hinting, I will mute you for minutes on end. You had your chance. You had your chance to tell me. What the hell? No one fucking did. So now you'll have to shut your collective butts. I will summon Nova. I will summon them probably from a much needed post-work nap. Well, airdrop a Nova on this nonsense. I will. You. What are you not getting? Swear to fuck, I'm gonna mute everything. So Lena, one thing we do know is that they didn't translate the puzzles into other languages. So sadly for non-English speakers, they basically would have to translate it from Runic to English, from English to native. But it's one of those things that without a huge budget would be extremely hard to do. And also, this is a very, very good game to use as an example that there is a huge difference between translation and localization. But that's another story. And honestly, so Lena, one of the things that's also worth knowing is that this is the last puzzle, the last big thing to crack of this game. Once we've cracked Runic, like, the rest is... Once we've cracked Runic, the rest is... I think we've got like one last puzzle to solve. Yeah, so, Lena, a lot of folks did all the puzzles up until this point and then just look online for the translations. And I'm trying not to give in and just, you know, and just do that. Because I feel that, I feel we would be poorer for it. There aren't that many good language translation games. All right, we're gonna have a break from this one. Let me bring it back to my notes. I'm gonna translate the cover real quick. Because if anything's gonna say like fucking drink more Ovaltine, it is the fucking cover of this game. I've noted that this is page 2, so that when we come back we can return to it. So help... What did I fucking say? I'm gonna summon Nova in a second. Nova, I haven't gotten all of the stuff to translate your message yet. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the title piece and then translate that while we're having a little faff about. So Nova, while you were gone, I caved for a sec. And I said to this lovely lot, like, all right, help me with this one word. And no one did. Everyone just got weird and cryptic. And so I was like, all right, like, fine. I'll struggle through it. And then after being like, okay, no more. If I'm going to do this, I'll do this. Then everyone's all like, oh, I know something you don't know. Or, oh, have you missed this thing? I'm ready to start throwing shoes. Honest to goodness, shoes! But it was like, Nova, the one time I was like, look, just fucking tell me. Just please tell me. No one did. The one time I cracked. So, I'm just going back to the title, because we know this is S. And that is... Oh, I may have to go let Little Fire in just a second. Or perhaps just this moment. Okay, friends, I'll be back up in just a sec. And then we'll crackle this one, and then we'll see where the world takes us. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, can you not? Oh no, and so far, Nova, nobody's spoiled anything. They've been good about that. It was just the one time where I cracked. Anyway, back in a second. Hey friends, I just need to bring our stuff to a close. All right. We will continue with Tunic next week. You've all been lovely. Thank you kindly. All right. I'll see you tomorrow for whatever tomorrow ends up being, and I will do proper thank yous in the yoke. All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and to be continued.